I call the member for Ryde.
Thank you, Speaker. In my inaugural speech, I remarked that my election to this place wasn't a road to Damascus journey. However, I did experience a journey of that nature when it came to working from home during COVID. For many people I knew, recalcitrance to work from home loomed large. Work wasn't work unless it was done from an office. The home was too distracting, you couldn't be productive. That was my fixed mindset. It took an edict from then Premier Gladys Berejiklian and the threat of fines and arrests for many to finally accept that ways of working needed to adapt. I wasn't an essential frontline worker, so the exemptions that had been made appropriately at that time didn't apply to me. It took 1 week and a new chair to turn my mindset around. By embracing work from home, I became an infinitely better employee, and upon my election as Mayor of Ryde, went so far as to formalise flexible working arrangements for councillors and staff in a way that had never been done before. While governments typically lag behind business, we were setting the standard. People left the private sector in pursuit of public service careers at Ryde. One colleague was able to nurse their newborn while dialing into council meetings. Hence, I'm troubled by the new Premier's attempts to force everyone back to the old CBD office. No doubt there is merit in fostering in-office collaboration. However, a blanket return to office mandate overlooks the complexities of modern work and lifestyles. It not only disregards the positive effects of remote work, but also harps back to the bad old days where government was process rather than outcomes oriented. One of the most profound consequences of this edict is its impact on women and young parents. Remote work has been a critical tool in advancing parental participation in the workforce. Working from home offers a level of flexibility that particularly enables women to pursue careers without having to compromise on other responsibilities. Mandating a return to the office without acknowledging these dynamics risks undoing much progress. It forces a choice between career and caregiving duties, potentially leading to higher attrition rates, particularly among female employees. This would not only be a setback for gender equality, but also for the diversity and inclusivity of the public sector workforce. It will also disrupt the local economies of suburban areas. During the pandemic, many cafes, shops and restaurants in my electorate saw an increase in patronage from residents who were working from home. This shift contributed to the revitalisation of local economies and precincts, with workers spending money closer to home and reducing the need for long commutes to the city. A forced return to the office would likely reverse this trend, concentrating economic activity back in the city at the expense of suburban businesses. The vibrancy and sustainability of local economies depend on a balance of patronage from both residents and workers. By compelling workers to abandon local communities during the work week, the government risks creating economic deserts in the very suburbs where people live, undermining the social fabric and economic resilience of these areas. The practical implications of a mass return to the office also can't be ignored. Public transport infrastructure in New South Wales has not significantly expanded to accommodate a sudden influx of commuters. Pre-pandemic, many public transport systems were already over capacity. Forcing thousands of workers back into the daily commute would exacerbate these issues, leading to overcrowded trains, buses and ferries. It also means more cars on Sydney's heavily congested roads. This results in longer commute times, higher emissions, and increased stress levels for workers, all of which negatively impact productivity and well-being. And what of productivity? Many workers are more productive when working from home, and those that aren't won't miraculously become so because of where they work. Office environments can stoke collaboration and ideas, but can similarly offer distraction. I would rather empower employers and employees with choice to make the best decisions for themselves. The Premier's directive seems to rely on outdated assumptions that productivity is inherently tied to physical presence in the office. The reality is modern workplaces are evolving, with technology enabling new ways of working that can be just as, if not more, effective than traditional office settings. A forward-thinking government should be embracing these changes, not resisting them. There is a place for in-office work, yet this government's blanket return to office edict represents a vision of a past New South Wales. Instead of imposing a one-size-fits-all solution, the government should be exploring a more flexible approach with tweaks if needed. If there are issues with the status quo, absolutely address them innovatively. But I can almost guarantee that yesterday's answer won't be the solution to tomorrow's problem.